What does this forest look like to you? Peaceful? Full of life and fresh air? Now, I want you to imagine it completely gone.
Deforestation in the Brazilian
Every year, millions of trees are cut down at a rate that it's hard to even imagine.
An area of Amazon rainforest roughly the size of a football pitch is now being cleared every minute.
Now, over the last 30 years, we've lost more than 420 million hectares of forest. That's almost the size of 6 African countries combined. But before we go anywhere, I need you to understand one thing. These forests, they're not just a bunch of trees. They help us to fight climate change. They absorb carbon dioxide, which is the gas that warms the planet. But when we cut down these forests, that carbon dioxide gets released back into the air.
The Amazon as a whole, the eastern section where there has been more deforestation, is emitting 10 times more CO2.
Right now, deforestation alone causes about 10% of all carbon dioxide emission. Losing these forests doesn't just mean we're losing fewer trees. It means losing animals, losing plants, and even less rainfall to the land around it. So, why are forests disappearing? Well, the biggest reason is farming. About 80% of deforestation happens because we are clearing the land to grow food and raise animals. Another big reason is illegal logging. This means people are cutting down trees in places where it's not allowed. In Africa, for example, the Congo Basin forest alone loses around 1.5 million hectares every year. And in Southeast Asia, largest area of rainforest in Indonesia and Malaysia are being cleared to make room for palm oil plantation. But in the middle of all of this, there is still hope. Some countries are bringing back forest. Costa Rica and India, for example, have increased their forest area by planting more trees and managing them better.
Reforestation is part of India's commitment to the Paris climate deal. The country pledged to boost forest coverage to 235 million acres by 2030.
In Africa, there's a big movement going on as well.
Ethiopia has made its mark in the record books by planting over 350 million trees in a single day.
Kenya is also making progress as well, with both government and local communities planting more trees, and countries like Tanzania and other African nations. Across the Sahel region, the Great Green Wall Project aims to fight desertification and climate change.
The initial idea was to build an 8,000-kilometre-long forest from one side of Africa to the other. It would be 15 kilometres wide and be used as a buffer against deforestation.
I can't stop but wonder that some countries still depend on things like farming, mining, and logging to grow their economy. How can these countries reduce deforestation without hurting their progress? Can they find new sustainable ways to build their economy?